Hey, what is happening, everyone? So, in today's video, I want to talk to you guys a bit about Stature, and I alluded to this a bit in my live stream and in my orb opening video for her, but it's specifically around some text in her kit that I think might be future-proofing her potentially to pave her usage elsewhere beyond Pym Tech, and that's what we're going to be discussing in this video, and see if Scopely's up to something, and whether or not I and others might have caught on to anything. What exactly I'm blabbering about, though, well, if you're interested, then you'll just have to watch and find out. So, without further ado, let's get it started. Right, and so first off, we need to take a look at Stature and her character again. So, as you guys know, she is one of the newest characters to join the Pym Tech team, and she is a Hero Global Bioprotector. And why am I saying this? Well, a lot of this has to do with her basic giant takedown. So I was confused a little bit about this when I first saw this, because in the blog post it does reference the defense up here to self and one random Pym Tech. In this case, it says Hero Bio Ally. But in the blog post before the patch 4.5 came out, it did reference Hero Tech. So this was changed actually between, I guess, the blog post and the actual patch being released. Why? That's exactly what we've come to talk about in this video. So I was curious, you know, who else are Hero Bio characters? Now, we're going to go back into the roster page here. We're going to do a filter here with bio and hero characters and see who shows up. Now, there are some, some pretty obvious ones. There's the symbiote characters and things like that. There's some Inhumans. There are also hero bios. Guardians have a few, and Fantastic Four, obviously. But the one character, the few characters that I really want to stand out here are Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, Miles, and what tag is that? Well, if you click on Miss Marvel, specifically I'm referencing the Young Avengers tag. Now, for those of you who know the lore, the Marvel lore and stuff behind Stature, she is one of the founding members of the Young Avengers. So, what do we know about the Young Avengers tag? These three specifically, who I'll admit, no, the only one who is actually none of them, for that matter, are Young Avengers. Let's clear the filter, though. And filtered by Young Avengers. And so we have the four current members of the Young Avengers. Admittedly, the only person who is actually a Young Avenger member, although not a founding member, is America Chavez. So if you've read the comics and stuff, she is actually in it. The other three are not actually Young Avengers. And if you guys have maybe followed me at all, I actually really love the Young Avengers characters. But unfortunately, I think they've done a really awful job and kind of butchered it, to be honest. And so I saw Stature and I was like, huh, okay. So she's a Pym Tech character, but she is a founding member of the Young Avengers. So again, I want to point out that all three of these characters specifically, Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, and Miles, Spider-Man Miles, is Hero Bio, but America Chavez is a mystic character. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, I think they might be paving the way in the future, whenever that happens to be, for Stature to be moved into the Young Avenger team. Now, they don't actually have a tank character. They do have Miss Marvel, who does sort of do a sort of DPS damage tank function, but they don't actually have a solid tank character. The only problem with that Hero Bio part, obviously, is that America Chavez is a mystic, so she's not going to get that defense up. What does that mean? I don't know if that means they're going to be moving America Chavez out of this for some other team, or if they might end up just reworking it in general to include the Young Avenger tag later on for Stature as well. I think there might be a possibility of, even though there is only 5 characters with the Pym Tech team, it's not impossible for them to add a second tag on top of that. There's a lot of older characters that do have more than one team tag. Miles is a good example for having a Spider-Verse, although Spider-Verse isn't necessarily a team. That he does have Spider-Verse and Young Avengers, and there are other characters in the game, more usually older characters, but they do have both of those tags as well. So you might be able to see a Stature with Pym Tech, but also with the Young Avengers tag, and I think that would be really interesting. Now, of course, we are missing 5 members, and if they do happen to shuffle America Chavez out, which again would be weird because she is actually the closest thing to a Young Avenger other than Stature, because none of these three characters, which again bothers me, but I'm not going to go too much on about that because most people who follow me know where I stand about the Young Avengers that currently exist. So if they shuffle if they shuffle Chavez out and put Stature in, that still leaves room for another character, and that's kind of what I also wanted to lead into with this video. And so for that, we have to check out the internet to figure out who possibly could be coming alongside this that might be a hero bio character. So if we're taking this Stature thing, the basic, to maybe include that this might be a bio team potentially, we need to see who might be coming. And so here we are on the Marvel Fandom wiki page for the Young Avengers, Earth 616. Now, this isn't actually the main team here. I believe this is Prodigy, and this is maybe like a second variant of the Young Avengers. But if we scroll down and we take a look at some of the characters that have been in the team, if we expand this part here, actually there's quite a few. Sorry, no, that's not what I meant. The current members. Let's zoom in a little bit here because it's a bit. There we go, we get some better views here. Now, I do have a few characters in mind when talking about this. Again, we were thinking about hero bio characters, so I do want to go over a few characters that, again, I would like to see in the Young Avengers, but I don't know if necessarily, if we're talking specifically about hero bio characters, I don't know if they fit the mold. Now, the first one, again, I want to bring this up just because he's a founding member of the Young Avengers, and that's Wiccan. So he's another great favorite of mine, but unfortunately, he is kind of like their wizard. Now, I kind of suspect if he ever did come to the game, he would be a mystic character. So again, I don't know if that fits that mold of the hero bios that we're looking for, if they're specifically going for that for the Young Avengers. So I'm not going to be spending too much time talking about him, but he is a pretty awesome character. And I've read the Young Avengers comics when I was in high school, and I really loved it. So Wiccan is a possibility, but it depends on if they're trying to shift the team back to the original Young Avengers. I'm getting all these World of Warcraft ads on the side for some reason. Another character who was a founding member is Kate Bishop. Now, unfortunately, aka Young Hawkeye or whatever, she is probably going to be a skill character if she came to the game. So unless they end up doing a core Young Avengers team, I don't know if this qualifies either. She's not a bio character, so she's probably not going to fit that mold. But one other person who I thought might be, now that's Tommy Shepard, aka Speed. I'm pretty sure if he came to the game, he would be a hero bio character. And I'm getting all these ads on the side still. Oh my god, all these Google ads. And so Speed is a character who is the brother of Wiccan, and I think this is a possibility. He would be a I think he actually went by the name of Speedster or Speedy here before, and I think he's definitely one that could be included. Now, what kind of character he might be, hard to say. Obviously, we have Protector already. We have a bunch of brawlers, so he could be a brawler. Probably a controller, my guess would be. And this would kind of fit in, and they wouldn't need to necessarily add Quicksilver. A lot of people were... I know we have Yo-Yo and other, like, fast characters, but I think that between Speed and Quicksilver, I think Speed might be more likely. Wouldn't mind seeing Quicksilver down the line. That's a completely different story and a different discussion. But Speed, I could see coming. Now, other than him, though, there is one really big one. And some people were saying, I don't know, would there be a legendary character necessarily coming to the Young Avengers? I don't know. But this is worth mentioning given what's happening in the comics right now. And it's Teddy Altman, aka Emperor Dork the Eighth, aka Hulkling. Now, this was a really big thing in the comics right now in the Empire comics, which just finished, I think, a month or two ago, and so this is over now. But a very powerful character now in the Marvel Universe, and a founding member of the Young Avengers as Hulkling. So Emperor Dork the Eighth is his sort of title as he goes within the Kree-Skrull Alliance. So he would have... I don't know if this would pave the way also, this kind of character, to pave the way sort of a Skrull. I don't know if they would ever do that in this game. I don't know if they have any intentions of that. That would be awesome on a different front, you know, Super Skrull and things like that, where he would fit into multiple teams. Not only is he a Kree, he's a Young Avenger, and he's a Skrull. So there's multiple teams that he could take advantage of. And honestly, I could see him being a potential legendary. I know nobody's been talking about this, and this is just a personal favorite of mine. I don't know if it's very likely or not, but if they were going to add another character into the Young Avengers team, I would want it to be him. He is definitely going to be a hero bio character if he came to the game, and I think that's probably a shoo-in for me. Now, between him and Speed, you know, I think those are the two best chances if they are trying to sort of reshape the Young Avengers, because I'm really dissatisfied with the way they rolled it out, mostly because, like I said, Miss Marvel, Miles, and Squirrel Girl have, as far as I'm aware, no association with the Young Avengers. They're actually, the closest thing would probably be either the Champions, which is also an existing team, or the Marvel Rising cartoon that showed up on Disney Plus, and that was something that they were in there. Miles wasn't in that, but Squirrel Girl and Miss Marvel are quite well known to be friends. Again, a bit of a scramble mess that they did here with the Young Avengers. So I really hope that they try to bring it back to its roots, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe Stature is involved in this reshaping of the Young Avengers. But I'm curious what you guys think, because what kind of character that Hulkling would be. My guess is he would be a brawler. If they were going to be using Miss Marvel and keeping that still, I think that would actually synergize both with her Young Avengers traits, but also her hero brawler traits. So if you really needed to, he might qualify for that. Since we do have Stature, who is a protector, that basically means that most of the characters that might come to Young Avengers would be damage characters, probably, because that's what we need the most, I think. If you've ever run the team, I think they're lacking damage, so they need a really strong character to bring everyone else together at this point. But yeah, what they might exactly do with America Chavez, I'm not sure, because really her thing was like hero brawlers when they brought her back, or brought her out, sorry, with Miss Marvel and all that, so have no idea what the plans are there. But Teddy Altman, aka a Hulkling, I hope that he might be that next, or the last sort of fill-in for the Young Avengers, although really, I would really love it if they actually brought the real Young Avengers together. So going back to that photo here, really it's Hulkling, Wiccan, Stature, and Kate Bishop. And, you know, at that point I don't really care, you know, if they want to bring America Chavez back into there that way and actually create a specific Young Avengers team, or Speed, doesn't matter to me. But I hope that this might be a path towards, you know, fixing up that Young Avengers team. And maybe, you know, maybe not now, maybe not in the next 1 or 2 patches, but hopefully down the line. I hope this is what they're considering. When I saw that, that's exactly what I was thinking of, so I really wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. And so that's the end of this video, but I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on Stature being a potential member for the Young Avengers, and or, you know, bringing other core members into the game to fill in any potential spots. A lot of us in the MSF circle, I think, have been discussing who we think might be the next legendary coming to the game, which is looking likely, I think, around mid-January or so. I'm not in the arena to do any rumors, but I would love it if that was a legendary for the Young Avengers, maybe even released under the moniker of Emperor Dorek or something, to show off the various traits that he could potentially have. I think that would be awesome. But that's all for me for today, and if you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button down below, and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, until next time guys, stay safe, and I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out.